Hey Bridget, responding to your video with the question, to be or not to be a parent. I think that my sister and her husband decided not to have children, and this actually happened to them more than once. They'd be out meeting people, the questions, oh yeah, how long have you been married, where do you live, do you have any kids, and not even do you have any kids, how many kids do you have? And when my sister said none, the people would say, oh, and then she would say, no, we decided not to, we made a conscious decision not to have children. And people actually said to them, isn't that selfish? Any reason, I challenge you to throw any reason out to me why someone might want a child. Any reason anyone has for having a child is selfish. That's wanting children is selfish. Not wanting children is realistic. And I'm not saying everyone should not want children. Any reason you can come up with for having a child is a selfish reason. Even I have so much love to give. It's selfish. You want to give the love. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad to want children. I'm not trying to say that it is. I just wish more people were like my sister, who did not, who had enough self-knowledge to know that a child was not right for them. If that were true, if more people were like her, there would be a lot less abused children, a lot less unwanted children, a lot more happy children. Children, I'm coming from the perspective of my son is 31 this year. I'm a grandmother. Children bring you incomparable joy and also incomparable pain. You get everything from both ends of the spectrum to the middle. I think that, well, I know that when you become a parent, you have no clue. You think you might, but you have no clue how your life is going to change. And it's going to change pretty much for the rest of your life, very profoundly, for at least 18 years, and probably longer. My dog is howling. I think it's sort of like first marriages. You go into this huge life change, and everybody has a certain amount of expectation based on how we were raised, what we saw our parents do, what we read, what we see in movies. It all comes together, and somehow you formulate your own little expectation. And it's almost always not quite what you expected. For me, I loved being pregnant and giving birth. Those were definitely high points of my life. It really makes you connect with the miracle of human life in a way that nothing else can. And I would always encourage someone who wants children to do it, and also to really try not to have any drugs while you're in labor and delivery. You feel a lot better afterwards if you don't. And also to be aware and to be mindful and there at the birth, rather than, drug hazed. I'm not sure if they even do that anymore. But if this is something that you really want, and your husband, I think that you really have to look at yourself and your life. And if you are very career-oriented, accomplishment-oriented on the level of career, or even doing something to profoundly impact the world, or at the very least a portion of the world, if these things are really important to you, you should really, really think about it, and think about how it would affect a child that you would have. And if you really believe that you could do both, I just believe that many of us can juggle a lot of things. However, at any given time, one of those things is going to be neglected to a certain extent. I think what I'm trying to say is, what you really need to do is get to know yourself better. Get to know yourself well, I should say. And know if having another human being be dependent on you for so many years, to the point where it really will limit your ability to do other things that you like. If you are willing to make certain sacrifices and compromises, it's a very individual, personal decision, and no one else can tell you what to do. My experience as a mother, like I said before, has brought me profound joy and also profound sorrow. But you can't appreciate the good without the bad, right? So I would just encourage you to do actually, what you're doing. You're reaching out and getting opinions. I think you ought to look inward also and know yourself well enough to know if this huge responsibility is something that you want to take on. And if it is, then I say go for it. And know the joy of that unconditional love from a child. The sad thing is they grow up and it's not so unconditional anymore. But anyway, I wish you the best, and I can't wait to hear how this turns out.